You guys, you're going to be pleasantly surprised. I know we're investing much more into what yoga means at this point, and if it was just a physical thing, you're going to be pretty surprised at how practicing every single day is actually impacting in your postures and your posture. As you're going through the class, as you're feeling your body as you're standing up a little bit taller, and so there's this nice consistent residual effect based on the consistency of us. 2 yoga classes a day is a lot. So anybody following along on earbuds, I'm listen now. If you're on Spotify, you can start that on your end. And we just want to make sure you guys are receiving the music. Debo, welcome back, buddy. And just so you guys all know, I know we're calling this the retreat. So the translation of quarantine is actually retreat. So I have a lot of hope and pretty certain that one day, okay, those of you that have been showing up on this in second class every evening and doing the morning classes, I'm pretty sure that we're going to find ourselves on an actual retreat in a location one day together. Once you got your music going, let's go ahead and lie down onto your backs, and we're going to start in Shavasana tonight. And things you may have alongside of you, if you have a yoga block, if you have a pillow, a rolled up towel or blanket, something for some extra padding. And I'm going to keep putting this in front of you because it doesn't matter. I promise you, some of us, we've been practicing for a very long time, and there will be things and that will try to pull you off of your mat. That will probably be the greatest challenge during this quarantine and home practice situation. Whereas you don't have the room, you don't have the heat, you don't have your instructor physically there, even though, we're connecting this virtually. Hey, Bri Rai. Hi, Ari, welcome back. And so staying on the mat for the allotted time, so you've made yourself into this space. And so for the allotted time, as I'm holding space for you, and I don't care if you do all the poses, I don't care if you fall asleep out of a pose, and you find a nook in where you feel content, in santosha, in Sanskrit, at peace or content, rest there. All these little nudges and that we'll go through, the different postures, the different positions, the different sensations, it's all setting you up eventually to be still and to be content and to experience a moment of peace. And so thank you all again for being here. You're lying on your back, bring the soles of your feet together and separate your knees apart. And so you're in reclining butterfly pose, and then take your right hand onto your belly and take your left hand just below your chest. Ashley, good evening. PG, welcome back. And so many of you, with the consistency of your practice over the years, you're beyond that initial phase of practicing yoga, which is, I call inventory, right? If you are just starting a practice, the inventory are the things that bubble up as you're in the postures. Things that have happened in your life, things that you forgot happened in your life. But that inventory tends to come up until you deal with it, until you're willing to take a breath with it and just see it more objectively and take the story and the attachment of the story out. And so if something comes up and you weren't expecting it to come up, it's okay, just take a breath with it, acknowledge that it's there, and then you continue to move on. It's much easier in person, but when I invoke some space of silence, you don't think I've left you. I'm sitting with you and breathing with you. And so no need to cling like in a flow class, and you're going to be listening for every instruction. In these poses, you're going to be in them for a longer period of time, and so I encourage you to simply melt and to release and to let go. And you'll get it when you're supposed to get it. You'll hear my voice come back into that silent space. So have a beautiful practice, everybody. Let's go ahead and rest here. And close your eyes and relax your tongue. Keep your breath natural. Hi, Hallie. And something for you to consider, I'd love for you to think about when you started practicing yoga. And if you can remember your first class, if you can remember your first teacher, I'd love for you to give yourself some love and for the courage and that it took for you to make it to your mat that very first time. And perhaps it was a friend that invited you along, and send love to that person. And if you can remember the teacher, the person that was guiding you, send love to that person. And let's say there were some people that invited you to practice yoga, and yet you weren't ready to practice yoga. Let's send some love to those people as well. You feel the rested heart rate. And we're going to turn down the brave waves and the frequency of your mind. And through the sounds of the music, if you're listening along, you can just be through the feelings in your body as you continue to melt and the tension away. And who knows, back in the day, people used to trip out in these classes. Your mind can move far and wide, and I hope it does. But at the same time, and when you end up in that peace, I hope that your mind can land in that peace with you, with your body, with your very spirit. And take the next 30 seconds or so and just feel where you're at. You mentioned this just before the beginning of the class, minutes, and there's going to be probably over 1 million people meditating together, and you are a part of that collective effort. And holding space, growing space. And take your hands to your outer thighs, please. And go ahead and gently bring your knees all the way together so they touch. You feel the shortness of the muscles in the hip creases. And then take nice big Buddha belly breath. And feel your lungs hold that breath in at the top. And go ahead and sigh, exhale, release all the air out of your body. Good, you guys. Reach your right arm over your head, roll on your right side. And take a beat, pause there in the fetal position. Okay, at the end of your next breath, and go ahead and use your left hand and make your way around and so that your knees are mat width apart and tabletop. And so yes, the lower body is going to receive child's pose, and yet simultaneously, and we're going to work the opening across the back. And so bring your bum back towards your heels. And then take your right arm, slide it behind your left armpit. And so your lower body in child's pose. And then keep sliding your right arm through to the left. And then go ahead and let your head settle down. And so we're compressing through the front of the shoulder, and then we're expanding through the upper back. And if you need a pillow under your head or a blanket, anything to bring the ground to you, if there's a lot of tightness here, please use it. And then start to settle into the space where you can be still and where you can rest the body. And there's going to be waves of energy, moments of tightness in the compression. But allow yourself and to stay with your meditation and for the duration of the pose. And let gravity balance everything out, and so you're drawn to release all of your muscles. And feel all the parts of your body and then are connected to the floor. And relax. And you might start to get some tingling in your right fingers. And that's okay. About 1 more minute here. And see if you can sense in the energy shifting and throughout your experience, and especially as you move from one side of the body into the other. And take it nice and slow. Start to slide your left hand back. And then go ahead and lift the head and slide your right arm out. And let your hip creases release and bring yourself forward gently into a tabletop for a beat. And then keep your hands where they are. Start to slide your hips back towards your heels. And keep your right arm out in front. And let's go to the other side. Take your left arm behind your right armpit. And slide it away, and then eventually go ahead and make your way down onto your shoulder. You can relax the side of your head into your mat, onto a pillow. And for the next 20 minutes, everybody, you're part of and something much greater than ourselves. And this movement and to open the gate and to release the pressure of this disease and the sickness and this crutch in our society. And stay with this compression and sensation about 1 more minute. your right hand back beside your face. And gently go ahead and lift the head. Slide your left arm out. You feel the release as you make your way back onto a tabletop position. And it should feel good, and to release the hip flexors. And so let's go ahead and straighten the legs out behind us. And come down onto your forearms. And feel your thighs and your hips land into the mat. And then you can just walk your elbows in a little bit and to prop your chest up, but let your chin settle in towards your chest, please. It might feel nice and to flutter your lips here. And open your mouth, stick out your tongue. And then soften the tongue back inside your mouth. And just let your head hang heavy here. And we'll remain on the front of the hips and begin to curl your right heel in towards your bum. And you're going to feel your right thigh spread onto the mat even more. And then reach back with your right hand. And you can hold on into your shin or to your ankle, to your toes. And once you get the hand connected, and then turn your left elbow out, and make a little pillow, and set your forehead down on the back of your left hand. And you can make a little adjustments and to start, and you don't want to necessarily be pulling the heel into your bum. It's not about the activation or strength in your right arm. And it's keeping the hand connected into the ankle or the foot in the entire time, and that we're in the pose, and just continue and to let the front of your right thigh release into the ground. If you have a better position for your head, you can make that change and find a space in where you can settle and where you can soften. And if it's really challenging for you to keep the hand connected to the ankle or the foot, and please realize it's not the most challenging thing you've ever done in your life. And so just watch your mind move through in the experience and come back into your draw of patience and stillness. Understanding through grief. known all the tension and that you're holding on to in your hands, in your wrist, in your forearms. Let's just do 30 more seconds on this side. It may seem like a little, but it's quite a lot. You go slow and just start to let the legs slide out of the hand. And you can release your right leg all the way back down onto the ground. And let your right arm fall into the mat. And if you had your head turned, and turn your head to the other side. And take a deeper breath, and you'll feel that in your low back. And then you can slide your right arm forward and bring your elbow into your shoulder, and so that we can set up the other side. And your elbows crawl in, and then your left heel curls in towards your bum. And go ahead and reach back with your left hand and grab for the outside of the shin or the ankle or the foot. And have your fingers curling around the inside edge of your lower leg, and then you can start to make your way back down. Okay, onto your chest. You can stack your forehead to rest. And you can use a pillow. You can put your forearm on the back of your forehead on the back of your forearm. You can come to a place in where you can begin to settle and let the body rest in the shape. And if your mind's not resting, that's normal. Remember the beauty of the mind, expansion and awareness and more feeling, and more understanding of what we're doing while we're doing it, mindfulness. And just keep your breath nice and natural. And feel the beat of your heart. I'm sure you guys a lot of feeling in this one. And stay with it and keep softening, releasing the front of your quad. And we'll be here for about 30 more seconds. And go really slow as you allow your left leg to slide out of your hand. And to release your left leg down, let your arms settle by your side. And if you like to turn a cheek, you can turn a cheek. Anywhere you can come in to settle this side of the posture, let it go. And feel this wave, feel this breath flowing through your body. And gently you can start to bring your elbows to your shoulders. And keep your head as heavy as you can, and from your elbows start to make your way back up onto your knees. And then from your knees back up onto your palms. And drawing ourselves into this heavy tabletop, and just crawl yourself into the center of your mat. And then bring your right hand closer to your left hand. And step your right foot to the outside of your right hand. And so you got both hands set up inside your front foot. And letting your pelvis get heavy, I'm fine if you want to turn your front toes out. If you want to keep them in, just feel into that orientation, the bone structure, and through your right thigh, and then you can either stay on your hands, and you can use pillows or a block and come down onto your forearms, or you can set your forearms all the way down onto the ground. You can start high and then progress low as your body opens up and you're able to go deeper. And right now, just feel your way into where you're going to start. It might feel nice if you are holding on to quite a bit, and to open the mouth and take a heavy-hearted sigh here. Relax the jaw, keep your lips loose. If you're going to go any deeper, like down onto your forearms, or removing your block and taking your forearms down to the ground, now's the time. We got about 5 more breaths here. You guys, and feel this release, and go ahead and start to make your way back up onto your hands. You might be getting a lot of sensation to your right leg and from your toes all the way back to your hips, so go slow and start to move your hips back, and then begin to slide your right foot back behind you. And to let this side release, and we're just going to turn down onto our left side in the fetal position. And so your left arm is going to act like a pillow. And let your head rest and your legs bend. And so there's no weight in that top right leg. Should feel good. We're going to keep ourselves in the fetal position, but you may just want to scoot it over a little bit into the space in front of you. You see, towards the edge of the mat. And then we're just going to start to roll the chest open. And And coming into an easy twist, and so your knees are stacked, and then your right arm comes back. And your shoulders going towards flat on the ground. If you want a little support, but you're not strengthening and hold it down, just take your left hand and let it rest on the outside of your right thigh. And a little more support. As you observe each exhale, and please let your belly soften and let the twist go a little bit deeper. And our focus is healing. Our focus is forgiveness. And our focus is developing a sense of inner and well-being, and spaciousness and trust, and the proximity into our center, and as to where we're coming from, and where our words are coming from, and where our thoughts are coming from, and where our actions are coming from. You might just feel a tremendous amount of space, from your belly to your heart when we release this. And so let the left hand come off of the right thigh. And then slow motion, you can start to roll your hips back onto the mat. And so that you're releasing the twist. And if you need to scoot your bum back into the center, do that. Your shoulders square, do that. And then let your legs go long and release both arms down by your sides. Feel this. Feel this. And now feel this. Hopefully feeling more centered, more grounded, a deeper sense of peace, or as I spoke of, content. and with your mind, with your body, and with your free-flowing spirit, and love and light, and curiosity, intensity. Okay, go ahead and take a deeper breath into your nose. Exhale, you can let go of all the air from your body. You really slowly go ahead and bend your legs. And take your right arm up and so that we can roll on to the right side. And use your left hand. Let's make our way all the way back into a tabletop. Roll over. And keep your head heavy in tabletop. Bring your left hand a little closer to your right hand. And then step your left foot into the outside of your left hand. And you got both hands inside. And turn your front toes out. And fine by me. And whatever allows you to feel more heaviness of the pelvis. And you're getting a deep flexion into your left hip crease and extension through your right side from the top of your thigh into your low belly. And you're welcome to stay on your hands, already feeling it. And if you have a block or a pillow, you're welcome to come down onto your forearms. And Tanya K, if you're going to go all the way down into the ground, just go all the way down onto the ground. And then let your head rest. And I really hope you guys can feel the power in the practice in taking the walls down. The power in taking the element of the heat out. And the power as you continuously arrive in with this courage and curiosity and to see whatever it is that we need to see, and so that we can further our state of awakening or deepen our awareness. You have that moment of self-realization, yoga. gotta break it down. Stay with it, everybody. Stay with it. If your body is willing to release any further, now's the time, and you can remove the block or remove the pillow. And if you're going any deeper, and let yourself come down. If you think, what have I done? Then you're in the right place. If you don't question everything up to this point, then you're not human. But if you learn to trust the space, you slowly and persistently begin to merge with the true beauty and connection to all beings, into all life, into every breath, into every moment. And people near, people far. Let's take about 10 more breaths here. You do it as slowly as you can, everybody. If you are on your elbows, and start to make your way back up to your hands. And keep the head heavy as you slide your hips back. And then you can slide your left leg back behind you. And there should be a lot of feeling in this transition, and then we're just going to lie it down onto our right side in the fetal position. And so your knees are bent, and your right arm extends forward to act like a pillow. And you've got no weight in that left leg and that left hip at all. And go ahead and rest here. You might even feel your body swaying in itself, and your body is made up of mostly water. You can feel some vibration, or you can feel the gentle sway within yourself. Beauty, eyes can be closed. Let's keep the legs as they are. And then you can start to roll the left side of your chest open. And let your shoulders come down flat into the ground. And gentle twist. And find a place for your head to settle. If you want to support the structure, take your right hand down into the outside of your left thigh. Really gentle, you're not forcing it. The pulse. What you're seeing right now, this is the real you. And this is the you that is less attached into the stories of your past. Into the opportunity of the future. And this is the you that sits right here and right now in this body, in this field of magnificent energy, and connecting through each and every one of us unconditionally, with love, with support, and with a whole lot of forgiveness and understanding. Let's go as gently as we can. And as you start to release the hand from the thigh, and then let your hips come back into square. And then adjust your hips onto your mat and do the same with your shoulders. And so you feel nice and grounded through your back body. And then let your legs go long, big toes out. And then bring your arms down by your sides with your palms facing up. Feel this. Close the eyes. This is real, everybody. This is real. Feel this. Feel this. hope you will take me up on that offer to experience a moment of peace and to be content within your body and with your mind. And I welcome you to stay in this position and soak up your practice. And so grateful for this opportunity and to share these experiences with you all, no matter what it looks like. And yoga can only exist inside of oneself, and so it's all good, it's happening. And please take care of yourselves and support each other, be patient, and continue to slow down. And with this beat of your heart, and with the pace of our breaths. And please reach out if you have any questions, anything that you want to share at all, please reach out. And have a beautiful night, everybody. And hope to see you tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Namaste.